You had to go over some great left-hand batsmen in your time.
I can't really remember how it all started, to be honest, because obviously I think the ball turning away from the left-hander is one very big advantage. Is one very big advantage when it comes to off spinners, and I think likewise left-arm orthodox spinners also enjoy bowling to right-hand batsmen. So for me, over the years, the left-hand batsmen have generally tended to receive a lot of bowling from around the stumps. So one thing that I've learnt better and started doing a lot more is varying the seam position, the point where I use the crease, going really wide to the middle of the box to try and get as close as possible, and also change over the stumps. Over the stump is one angle that I've used effectively over the last maybe 6 months or so.
Pratyush, you had sent a chat message. You have a question?
Yeah, very well put. So, what do you make of the XG ball in this test match?
Look, even in the last test match, I told you that the pitch was really hard in the first couple of days, and that could have had an impact on the seam. I think it's held on pretty well in this game. Obviously, there are whenever you talk about the SG ball, my comparisons will always go to the time when I started bowling with it when I began first class cricket. So I think that's the expectation you have of the SG ball, and the SG ball was at that benchmark where you're always comparing it with that. And to be honest, from the last game to this game, there was a massive difference, and the pitch wasn't as hard as it was the last game. So I think the seam really held on well.
How do you think England? How do you think England played first innings? Was it as bad as the score suggests?
Look, I think we'll be putting another batting performance in. We are, as we're talking, 50 or 50, 53 odd for one, and I think I think it's about you know uh, being very patient. Like you play on a seaming wicket, you need to really tide through the early phase and get over it, and then start putting runs on the board. When it comes to spin, I think unfortunately people don't expect I mean they want conditions in their favor, driving, cutting, everything needs to happen. But when it comes to a seaming wicket, you can't do all those things when you start playing on a wicket like that in the morning. So I think the same kind of expectations, same kind of benchmarks need to be set when you play spin on a challenging wicket as well.
Hi, Wobbold.
Just
If England have got any complaints about the conditions, how would you compare it maybe to some of the extremes of English conditions that India have faced when they have toured England and the difficulties that India have faced?
I do not know if they have complaints in the first place. So if they do, I mean it's quite natural for people to come up against adverse conditions and then feel taken away back by it. But in all honesty, the 7 days of Test cricket that we've played so far, England have played really well, competed really well. I haven't seen any of them complaining or anything like that. Uh, but time and again, there are conditions which will challenge you, be it spin or with seam. Um, I mean, the only comparison I can say is if the ball is moving around at 140, 150 clicks off the deck, that has to be more challenging than somebody bowling at 85, 90 Ks and the ball spinning. So clearly the challenges are way greater than when you come up against seam. It's just the same way when you play spin. You have to give it to the bowler, take your time, and then bide your time, and then probably cash in a little later. It's another form of art. That's it. As simple as that.
Hi Ashwin, congratulations. Just taking a cue from the previous question, now that we've seen both teams bat on this surface, from a batsman's perspective, do you think it is very essential to come down the pitch and meet the ball in front rather than hanging back, staying back in the pitch and playing it late? Do you think that's a better approach? Because Indians have made batting look very easy on this pitch. Not easy, but better than, obviously, they're better than England. Do you think that is the key coming down the pitch?
Look, I think whatever works for you, right? I mean, everybody's got different options. Rohit's been sweeping really well. He's using his feet as well. Pucci uses his feet really well. On the other hand, someone like Joe Root likes sweeping, uses feet a little lesser. So, I mean, it's whatever works for you. At the end of the day, I think playing on wickets with a bit of help, even for the quicks, I think you need to take those percentage and calculated risks. Sometimes when you're just waiting and trying to trust your defense too much, there is a ball that will eventually come and get you. So I think it's about identifying the right kind of intent and what works for you, playing the percentage. And sometimes when you play on pitches like this and someone's got those runs in the first innings and you've got the hang of the pitch, you got set for the rest of the game. So it's about trying to get in and make those runs and find those scoring areas for yourself and those particular shots. So there is no one way to really play the game like stepping out. If it's worked for someone, it might not necessarily work for another person. So it's about trying to get your game sorted for that.